Hello, hello, hello. It's our monthly lunchtime Q&A. Glad I said that because I forgot my questions that I printed out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. That's weird. It showed me my own notification. It said, B. Lightfoot Smith is now live. I'm like, am I not?
Because my account is on there too.
Oh, okay.
You're not following yourself in your other account?
Mm-hmm.
It says gave you a notice that at least or something. I got it for 2.
All right, so we skipped August because the boys started school. But in July, we did these Instagram lives. We were just really talking about marriage in general. And this particular month, I wanted to focus on how having children has changed our marriage. So I have some questions here. And then like we did last time, if you guys have more questions, definitely put them in the comments. And if you are on a specific schedule, you're like, okay, I got this 30-minute segment, whatever, and there's something we don't get to, then just drop a comment. I'll try and save this live. Last time that did not work out, but I'll try and save the live, and then I'll also put it on my YouTube channel, Mama 3 and Me, so that you can put comments there in case you don't get to ask right here on our feed. So, first question. What are some of the changes you've seen in our marriage since we've had children? Because background story, y'all, I thought we were gonna wait for like 3 years, and God was like, haha, you thought, and we got pregnant 6 months into our marriage. So we had Jaden a little bit after a year of being married. If you guys watch my stories, you also know that Josh got his first tooth. So Jordan and my mom have been like, ooh, let's give him all the things. Crackers, pasta.
I was feeding him before his tooth popped.
Okay. But you have to answer the first question.
We have to answer the first
question. But I asked it, so you're going to answer first.
You're asking all the questions. That's not how that works.
You can still answer it first.
It sounds like I'm pretty sure.
You have to speak up.
I welcome traveling more.
Does that capture it?
No, there's a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
A lot of stuff that I don't feel like doing. I entertain.
Mm-hmm. I really do feel like it's interesting because I thought that having children was going to hold us back some. Like, oh, there's all this stuff I want to do, and now that we have kids, we can't do it. But I really do feel like they've helped. At least for me, they've helped me to be more intentional in being married. Not to say, I mean, I can't say how I would be if I didn't have children because I do have children, but there are certain things that I feel like I might take for granted if we didn't have children. So like our one-on-one time is very precious to me because we do have 3 children that we're juggling. And so being able to like have a date in the middle of the day or even do like Instagram live together without everybody running around is really precious to me. I think what's been cool about this year is we've traveled the most since we've been married. We've gone to Chicago twice for 2 different weddings. One was Rosalind's, who's on here, Rosalind and Marvo. And then we went to, where else did we go? Oh, we went to Austin for our anniversary, which was so good, and I would go there again. Highly recommend it. I actually have a vlog about our anniversary trips. Where else did we go?
California.
Yes, we just got back from California last week from our family vacation, and that was really fun. So I do think that...
I should just say LA, considering you didn't say states for other places.
I don't know, it's just kind of how it goes. I feel like California and Texas, people just say the state. Well, I guess I said Austin. I don't know, but we're already in Texas, so... Like when we went to Mizzou, people would say, oh, where are you from? People would say Kansas City, St. Louis, and people from Texas, I felt like we just kind of said Texas because people either assumed that we were from Dallas or Houston.
I mean, if you said Pantego, you probably don't want that question there, so. I'm saying, is it safe to say? It's like people who said they're from Chicago and Mizzou that weren't from Chicago. They're from like Plainfield
Bolingbrook.
or random places.
Mm. You have a question you want to ask?
No.
You said I was going to ask all the questions.
That's it.
Okie dokie. How do you feel like our children force us to be innovative or creative?
Force me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they do.
Really?
I feel like I have to be creative in general. This is my mindset. I don't think they make me do anything different.
I think that they cause me to be more creative, and I would even say forced, because I'll go on the innovative side. I feel like I have to be a lot more intentional with my scheduling, and I am somebody who loves a good routine, loves to be organized, but I think that having them, again, ties with what I was saying at the beginning. Like, I understand that time is a lot more precious, and I cannot just be like, oh, well, we'll go on a date. No, it's not going to happen unless I schedule it. So I think that they've caused me to be more creative, and they've caused me to ask for help more, because I would rely on myself for a lot of things. And again, especially having 3, you got to think of things like long term. So even with babysitting, I will schedule things out multiple weeks in advance, because I want to make sure people who are watching our children have like the mental time to get prepped, and then also so that I can think through anything that they may need, they might need that they might not regularly need on a regular basis. Does that make sense?
It seemed like probably been better to say how it challenged you.
Challenge me? I mean, yeah.
I feel like you already are a planner, so you're not being creative with planning. You're just planning more stuff.
So how they challenge you then?
I have to do more. I said this.
Do more what? That's so broad.
But it's so encompassing at the same time.
So give an example of what you have to do more of.
More time away from my computer to be present. More cooking, so they can actually eat. Because I'd be fine not eating a lot of times. More outings, because I'd be fine also sleeping most of the day if I'm not working. So, it's doing more.
I also, y'all, this was a few years ago where I came to the revelation. Thank you. I think my children are my gift, God's gift to my marriage, because I do think Jordan would be very like, we just go sit here. What do you want to go out for? And I will be looking at him like, what do you mean? We have to do stuff. So now I can kind of talk about doing things with our boys, which that is important to me too, but it is a way for all of us to be together. I think that's one of my favorite things, is hanging out with them. It's really cool to just like, I don't know, when I get in the car and we're all in there together and everyone's buckled up, I get excited. Like, okay, look at us, a family of 5, like going out on the town. It's really fun to me. It's a fun fact.
No, it's just me doing more.
Yeah. Okay. What ways do you feel like the boys help you to be a better person?
Learn how to be a better teacher / mentor / patient person in general with other people. I already felt like I was very patient, but it's different when you have to. You can't get away from it. So.
I was telling someone the other day, because they had DM'd me about like loving my mothering techniques, and one of the things I was saying is that I feel like my boys have caused me to be way more intentional with my communication, because I have to kind of tying into what you said, I have to think through communicating in a way that they understand. And so Jordan knows I will give long answers to questions for them because I don't want them to just do what I'm saying. I want them to understand the why behind it. Like, I want them to understand. If y'all saw my stories about with Jaden vacuuming, the big reason I had him vacuum was because I need him to know this house isn't just clean magically. Like, if you make a mess, somebody's having to clean it, whether it be you or me or your dad. And so I really take the time to explain, especially being a believer in Jesus Christ. I'll even tie it to stewardship. And I say, okay, well, if we want God to bless us with more, then we have to be intentional about taking care of what he's already given us. Same thing with his toys. If he's throwing them around all the time or if he's stepping on them, I'll ask him, like, do you feel like this is a good stewardship? And so even in me teaching them those things and having to communicate those things with them, it causes me to be a lot more reflective. And sometimes I'll tell them something and I feel like God's like, okay, apply the same energy to what I'm telling you. And it holds me accountable to really walk in the things that God's calling me to do.
What's a quality each boy gets from you two?
I would say that Jaden has Jordan's curiosity and his inquisitiveness and also his observation skills, honestly unmatched, because Jaden will notice stuff you don't even want him to notice. Like, I'm trying to think of something. I'll think of something positive. So when I change my hair up, he'll say, "Oh, mommy, you changed your hair. It looks great." And I'm just thinking to myself, what 4-year-old not only comments on the fact that my hair has changed, but then also compliments me on it. So I think that Jaden gets Jordan's observation.
The 4-year-old.
Okay. What's something he gets?
Same person.
What's something you think he gets from me? Jaden.
Just something to each boy.
We're going through Jaden. I said what he gets from you. What do you think he gets from me?
I don't know. Jaden from you?
Yes.
Do
you feel like he's more like you than he is like me?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't think of one thing? I think the love for learning, and I know you like to learn too, but I would say that's something that he has in common with both of us. First, I'm going to say it's from me, but I genuinely know Jordan loves to learn. The way we learn is different, but we both like learning. All right, Jonathan.
He values quality time more.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very much an emotional and sleeve person.
Mm-hmm. I'm not as bad as he is, though, thankfully.
I said...
I heard what you said. John takes quality time is one of my love languages. Acts of service is actually my number one since I've had children. So if y'all didn't know that your love languages can change, they can. But John is clingy. Like, we need space. I need space from John, but it's fine. I would say John from you.
Say it's harder. I tell people, John's more like you. James more
I
like
don't
you.
receive that, though, because John is like...
That's your fault.
What's my fault?
He's in the toddler stage. You gotta just wait for him to get a little older.
To see the positive of it?
To see it level out.
Mm.
It's still, you grow and learn how to manage the emotions. So
I think John is like you. He's observant too. They notice. I think they both notice stuff that the average person might not notice. Josh is so little. Who are you more like?
Probably cuteness from me. So Look at some of that smile. He was like, I can't help but smile. I can't help but smile.
You didn't take credit for his cuteness.
I mean, he's a boy. You know, he favors Jaden. Jaden favors me. So
I'll say Josh gets his joy from me. That's what I would say.
So Jaden's the perfect mix.
Yeah, John definitely marches to the beat of his own drum, like that Vivo movie. Y'all pray for John, because he's my child and I love him, but wow.
I tried to wave at Missouri, but it went away.
All right, yeah, I don't know. Josh looks more like me. Like, look at this. Look at this face. Look at this profile. These are my eyes. Maybe even my nose.
So you just really want a child to look like her?
It's not about that. He does look like me.
It's not only about that.
But for you to come straight out the gate and be like, oh, he's cute like me. Oh, okay.
He's a 6-month-old baby who don't really do much for himself. We were supposed to talk about personality.
I'm just saying, for you not to say he looks good because my wife is good looking. You took that for yourself.
Okay, because you want me to answer first about me.
Okay.
I bet you couldn't think of something to describe Joshua. Hey, y'all. See, look, she's not from Texas. She said y'all. Okay. Yeah.
What's another question? I only have like one more, and then we can do any questions y'all might have.
What you reading, John?
Josh really act like he's reading this. This is not specific to our children, even though our children have been here for most of the marriage. But what is one of the best changes you've seen in me since we've been married?
Flexibility.
That is definitely a game changer. Honestly, though, that's something I had to work on in therapy. Like, I think the first year I had a therapist, we pretty much just talked about flexibility. And she was so nice with it. But she'd be like, okay, so what if that doesn't happen? Then what? Then how will you feel? And I'm like, I don't know how I'll feel. I don't like that. She's like, okay, but how's a way you can be okay with this change? And so, yeah, I probably would say for the first year of me being in therapy, it was all about flexibility. She didn't always put it in that mindset or that verbiage, but that's what she was saying. Excuse you, sir. One of the best changes I've seen in you, I would say maybe you're business savvy. Like, I really like seeing you operate in your gifts. Not to say you weren't operating in your gifts before, but I think as far as your creative side, I'm seeing more of that. So I think when we first got married, you were focused more on your gardening, and now I get to see you doing more designs. Like this shirt that he designed for his two-tail brand. Just seeing you do more of that is really exciting to me, especially because I know that we've identified entrepreneurship as like a core value for our family. So I feel like that's something you can pass along to the boys pretty easily.
Yeah, they're gonna be working early. I say this all the time. Graphic design ain't hard. You just gotta be creative and get people to buy stuff. So they're gonna be making shirts early. Some black boys in business speaking well for themselves. Let people eat that up. I say it all the time.
Yep, you do.
Because it's gonna happen. I'm speaking it into existence. They ain't gonna have no lemonade stand. They're gonna make shirts for people with lemonade stands and sell them to their friends overpriced, $15 markup or something. We'll see.
Zuri said train them young.
I got the chat.
All right, y'all. So we're going to open up for other questions. Questions about marriage, questions about parenting, questions about traveling with children, because we've been able to do that. several times by now. Just said black boys in business.
Oh, are you saying that for the audience?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, babe.
As friends in your marriage, I like to remind her. I haven't said it in a while. I said these kids are number 3 on the priority list because they ain't gonna wipe my butt. You know, when I get like 70, or they ain't gonna stay here when they go to college and stuff like that. And we go away. I married her before we had them, so I have to invest in that relationship. So, usually it's just like addressing little things or trying to not speak on little things. Make my life easier. In turn, make our life easier.
I would say hanging out. Like, I think that's been my favorite thing about traveling together this year is when you're home, and I talked to my mom about this, when you're home, it's just a lot easier to be like, hey, can you help me clean this up? Hey, can you, like this morning, he peed through his clothes, so Jordan was asleep, and I'm sure he didn't appreciate it, but I needed him to give him a bath so he wasn't just rolling around in pee. So I woke him up so he could give Josh a bath. So, and I was taking the boys to school, the older boys to school, asking, can you get these diapers? Like, I remember one day I was looking through my text messages and I realized maybe the last 5, if not more, of my texts to him were questions about something he could do. Can you get this? Can you get that? And so I tried to balance that out more. Even just sometimes just sending him a picture of what me and the boys are doing, or asking him how work is going, or just other stuff that isn't, hey, do this thing for me, because that is one side of parenting, I would say, that can kind of put a stress or strain on your marriage, is that it can be very easy to just feel like you're two people who are more so business partners trying to get a specific job done versus people who are married who chose to be married because they love each other, because they feel like the person can help them grow as a person. And so I would say hanging out just to hang out is definitely something that has helped us to stay friends, and asking him how things are going with his business, asking him how things are going with his friends. I think that removes a lot of the monotony that can come with being married with kids. So that would be something. And then another question, what is your most memorable traveling experience with young kids, good or bad?
Yeah,
honestly, going to Chicago with Jaden and John earlier this summer was the best. Like, I was very nervous because Jordan actually flew out the day before because he was in the wedding. And so I traveled with them on the plane by myself, and I was a little nervous about it because, as I said, John is extremely extra, and I wasn't sure if he was going to be acting crazy or just throwing a fit in the airport. But they were so excited to get on a plane, and so just seeing their responses when we were in the airport, when they were looking outside the window and they were like, oh, we're going on the airplane, it was just amazing. And then even when they got on, they just loved it so much, and all of the stewardesses and everybody was like, oh my gosh, your boys are so cute, they're so well behaved. So that was probably one of my best memories as far as traveling with them. And then, of course, we went to Disneyland last week, and that was fantastic. John's behavior still left a lot to be desired, but getting on rides with them and just being a kid, wearing my Minnie Mouse ears, that was epic.
I was going to say leaving the stroller at Southwest. She said most memorable. That was the first thing I thought of, so I think that qualifies as the most memorable. Then the second was being late to California.
Yes.
So.
not right. Neither of those are good memories, but that's what came to you. So, yeah, they the double stroller forgot because we just checked a bunch of things, and Jordan wanted to check that too. And then when I got home, I was like, do we have the double stroller? And we did not. I thought they were going to mail it to us, but it's been some months at this point. So probably gonna have to just re-up eventually.
No, they're walking. We only need one. John won't walk.
John's so slow walking though. Like if you're trying to get somewhere with a purpose,
Leave him behind.
okay. How did you know that we were the one? That I was the one? How did I know that you were the one?
So you already know. Are you thinking about?
No, I'm thinking about how much you talk.
The face she's making. It's so adorable. She just reflects on me. I mean, I was wild, so she encouraged me to slow down without saying slow down. So that was it. If you know how stubborn I am, if anybody influences me to change my ways, it's worth considering keeping them around. So, yeah.
I felt like I chose Jordan to be my one. Me and my sister have had conversations about this. Like, is there really one person out there for you? And honestly, I've developed a different opinion than I had when we first got married. But as far as saying this is the person I want to build my life with, it was his intentionality. Like my dad always said that boys do what they want, or men do what they want and boys do what they can. And the way that he was explaining that was that a boy, someone who's not mature, will just do anything. Like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with this girl. I'm hanging out with this girl. I'm going to drink this. I'm going to smoke this. I'm going to do this. And men actually make decisions of this is what's valuable to me. This is what I care about. And I'm going to put in this effort to cultivate this. And so with Jordan, and another thing he would always say is that you never have to beg a man for his time. He'll give it willingly. And with Jordan, especially after I got back from my semester in Argentina, he would just be like, okay, hey, I'm out of class. Like, do you want to hang out? Or, he would walk me to my classes and stuff like that. And I had never had somebody be that intentional about me. I think that people before Jordan kind of treated me as optional. Like I was like one of many that, hey, we could hang out or we could not. I got other people on my roster type of thing. And with Jordan, I felt like I was valued in our relationship, and that spoke volumes to me. And when he moved to New Orleans, without me asking him to move, that's where I was living at the time. When he moved to New Orleans, I thought he was just coming to visit, and he told me he was moving. I was like, oh, this is a thing. Like, he said, well, you said you wanted to spend more time together. I was like, yeah. I was thinking like date nights. I didn't know you were going to move from Missouri. So
I had a flexible job when I was working, already out of school, and I don't like talking on the phone. I really didn't like talking on the phone. It's just like, we need to feel connected or whatever. I don't know. I ain't have time to talk on the phone anymore. And I was like, I got no problem going down there in New Orleans. I had one problem. I didn't like how they handled their flooding. The water treatment center, the city stuff really bothered me, and I had a big issue with that. That's it. I ain't care about anything else. So, how do you balance giving each boy their individual? Oh, maybe John could be a therapist too. That'd be interesting. Because as long as he becomes more in touch with his own emotions, probably help identify people with theirs and sources of stuff. Given their individual time, spending time with their.
Answer the question. Ask the question again, because you did the thing where you read it.
I read it for myself.
Yep.
How do you balance giving each boy their individual time / spending time with their individual interests? That's easy, because they usually don't like hanging out at the same time with me. Like, Jaden would be in this bubble when I got John, or John be in this bubble when I got Jaden. And then if I have Jaden, then it don't matter if Josh is with me, because he likes playing with Josh. And then if I got John with Josh, John just don't even mess with Josh for real. So it's not hard. They'll follow me. I make him do what I feel like doing. So it ain't much of an issue. If I feel like cooking, you know, we can be downstairs in the kitchen. They're either going to be helping me or playing on the fridge and talking or whatever. I don't know. They're not too different yet to where I don't feel like I can keep their attention and address their interests easily at the same time or close to the same time.
I would say, especially because quality time is one of my love languages, it ties back into scheduling. So, for example, Jaden goes to school Monday through Friday. John goes Monday and Wednesday. And so on Monday and Wednesday, I will, sometimes after I drop Jaden off, we'll go and get donuts. Or today I'm actually planning on taking him to the library after Jaden gets out of school, because there's an hour after Jaden goes to school that we have, and then almost an hour after I pick John up that we have. So just trying to do something with him there. But like Jordan said, he is a quality time person, but his quality time looks like chilling. So where with Jaden, I might say, oh, let's go to the store or let's go to the park. John just wants me to be near him.
He just wants you to sit down.
He literally, I will get up to do laundry or make lunch, and he'll just say, can you sit down, please? And it's very interesting because John doesn't even need as much like, okay, we're sitting down and we're doing this thing together. He just really wants you to be near him. Because one day I was working on something on my computer and he was watching something on his tablet, and he was in quality time heaven. You would think that we just built a castle together or something like that. Like, he really enjoyed it. And in my mind, I was thinking, this is what you enjoy? But your children already have their unique personalities, so you just kind of got to go with it.
He's more like my mom in that aspect. Or my dad too. They'll be like, oh, I miss you. And then I go home and they just sitting doing absolutely nothing, or they be upstairs all day.
Especially his dad. One time we visited, and I felt like his dad stayed upstairs the whole visit. And then when we left, he was like, I'm so glad you guys came to town.
Some people just like being around folks.
Yeah.
That's like, for having all three of them, if I'm holding Jaden and John is sitting next to me and Josh can kick me or stare at me, they're all good. So they're easy. It's being able to identify it makes it easy. When you try to step out, make them do what you want to do, and I feel it, that's when it's hard. So
agreed. It was like I said, that first week when Jaden was in school and John hadn't started yet, I was like, oh, great. Me and John will do stuff together. And he just was not interested. I tried to take him to the store, which, like I said, Jaden loves that. John was like, can we go home, please? Can we go home, please? So, yeah, knowing their personalities really helps when it comes to getting that quality time in. All right. Well, y'all, we're going to wrap up because it's almost 1. And if you guys have a lunch break from 12 to 1 or 12:30 to 1, I don't want anybody having to go over. But you guys asked some really great questions. And like I said, these are every month on Wednesdays now instead of Thursdays, because that's when 2 out of 3 are in school. And you can see this guy is not camera shy, so he may join us, or he might be napping next month. But let us know what other topics you guys would like us to talk about. You can do that. I'll save this video, and then you can put it as a comment, or if you want to DM me, you can do that too. And then please, please, please subscribe to my Mom of 3 and Me YouTube channel. I have videos on there about motherhood, marriage, and ministry. And I think that's it. Thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you enjoyed this and that it was helpful, that we said something that you can apply, whether you're married or you have kids or just out here thriving, living a single life, whatever the things. Bye!
Bye.